Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am so incredibly pumped you're here. Today I'm talking directly to you 10-year-olds out there, though honestly, anyone with a body needs to hear this. Okay, imagine for a second that you were just gifted a billion-dollar, top-of-the-line, super advanced sports car. You wouldn't pour muddy water into the gas tank, right? No way. Well, you are currently driving the most complex, amazing machine on the planet, and that's your own body. Today we're looking at an amazing text called a devotional, and we're going to explore exactly how it suggests you treat your body like the high-performance machine it was built to be. Okay, let's dive right into this, because I know exactly what you might be wondering. Seriously? What does chomping on a crunchy orange vegetable have to do with the creator of the entire universe? I mean, it sounds a little funny, right? We usually think about God when we're praying, or looking up at the stars, or helping a friend. We don't usually think about him when we're staring into the refrigerator, trying to decide between an apple and a handful of candy. But as you'll see in today's Explainer, what we put on our plates actually matters a whole lot to the one who made us. And that brings us to the absolute foundation of everything we're talking about today. This quote from the devotional comes straight from the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. The author of the devotional points out that we really should give careful, thoughtful attention to our eating and drinking, keeping our eyes single to the glory of God. That means even the most basic, everyday things you do, like packing your lunch, grabbing a quick snack, or just pouring a drink, those are all opportunities to show respect to God who designed your amazing body. Section 1. The Ultimate Playbook. Before we go any further, you might be asking, what exactly is a devotional anyway? Well, think of it kind of like a sports playbook. If you play soccer or basketball, your coach gives you a playbook, so you know the winning strategies, right? A devotional is a special text we read, usually every day, that acts just like that playbook. It takes the big ideas from God and breaks them down into everyday strategies for how to live our absolute best, strongest, and healthiest lives. It gives us the winning plays. Now, sometimes people think that because we live in modern times, or because we're reading the New Testament part of the Bible, that the rules about health don't really matter anymore. Like, oh, God doesn't care what I eat now. But our playbook, the devotional, says the exact opposite. It says that in the New Testament, not one of God's requirements loses its binding force. Actually, scratch that. Instead of the requirements being relaxed, the lines are actually drawn closer. Our duty is defined even more distinctly. God cares deeply about our everyday habits because he wants our machines running perfectly. And here is a really huge warning from our playbook. Beware of the little leaks. The devotional says we need divine guidance in our everyday lives so there are no little leaks. What does that mean? Well, think of your phone battery. If you have a bunch of apps running in the background that you don't even need, your battery drains super fast, right? That's a leak. Bad habits, or eating just to satisfy what the text calls perverted appetites, which basically just means craving stuff that isn't good for us, acts like a leak. It unnecessarily wastes our precious energy and resources on things that just aren't good for us. Section 2. Fueling your machine. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact choice we face every single day. The devotional clearly lays out what counts as junk fuel for our machines. It specifically mentions avoiding things like flesh foods, which is just an older way of saying meat, as well as tea, coffee, and rich or unhealthful food preparations. You know that rich, heavy stuff that makes you feel slow and sluggish? That's your junk fuel. On the flip side is premium fuel. The text says God demands our appetites be cleansed and that we practice self-denial. Now, self-denial might sound intense, but it really just means having the superpower to say no to things you know aren't good for you, so you can say yes to feeling awesome and energetic. But why is it so absolutely crucial to avoid all that junk fuel? The devotional gives us a really serious checklist here. First up, it says continuing to eat unhealthful food actually hurts your own soul. Second and third, it leaves wrong impressions on other people, both the people who share your beliefs and the people who don't. Think about it. The text argues that if you claim to believe in treating your body as a temple, but then secretly eat a bunch of junk fuel every day, you're working completely against the principles of health. It says you're basically telling the world one thing, but doing another. Section 3. Who is the boss? Okay, be honest. Have you ever felt just a little bit annoyed when an adult tells you to eat your vegetables or skip the sugary soda? Have you ever thought to yourself, may I not do what I like with myself? Am I never to have my own way? Is not my body my own? The author of the devotional actually wrote those exact questions down. It is totally 100% normal for you to feel this way. We all want to be the boss of our own choices. Now, what's really interesting is how the devotional answers those completely normal feelings. It just gives it to us straight. Yes, you can have your own way. You can totally be the boss. But the text warns that doing whatever you want with junk fuel will be at the loss of your soul. However, look at the alternative. If you choose God's way, basically letting Him be the coach, you get to live to a great purpose in this world right now, and in the world to come, have everlasting life. It's trading a quick, unhealthy snack for an eternal championship. Section 4. The mind-body connection. Let's see how this builds step by step, straight out of the devotional text. Step 1, we practice self-denial of unhealthful foods. We flex that superpower of saying no. Step 2, as we do that, our appetite actually gets cleansed. You physically stop craving the junk and start really loving the healthy premium fuel. And step 3, this prepares us to stand before God as what the text calls a perfected people. It's a literal transformation process. And the wild thing is, it starts with what you choose to eat today.
Listen to this incredibly powerful instruction from the text. I want you to imagine me as your coach in the locker room right before the big game telling you this. Do not misuse or abuse any portion of your God-given powers, physical, mental, or moral. You have God-given powers. Literally, your body is a high-tech gift. Every single time you run, solve a math problem, or make a good choice, you are using powers God gave you. Don't abuse them by filling your engine with junk. Protect them.
So the crucial point is summarized beautifully in this final thought from the devotional. All your habits are to be brought under the control of a mind that is itself under the control of God. True health isn't just about following some strict diet. It's really like a chain reaction. You let God steer your mind, and then your mind gets super strong and steers your everyday habits. When God is in control of the mind, the body naturally follows and becomes that ultimate high-performance machine.
Well, we've covered some amazing ground today, breaking down this playbook for living strong. So I want to leave you 10-year-olds, and honestly, everyone else joining this explainer, with a bit of a challenge. The next time you open the pantry or the fridge and reach for a snack, pause for just 1 second. Look at it and ask yourself, is this fueling my machine for God? Remember, everything you eat or drink can be done to His glory. You are building a high-performance machine, so choose the premium fuel. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep making those winning choices.